Marge, why do you do such things to being a Marge? Benny banded up. Benny got a bandana too. Bandana Benny. Oh, he's stressed. He don't like it. He said, that make me uncomfortable, Margie. Why you gotta do that Benny that way, Marge? Why you gotta go to do that Benny that way? Well, I had it on him, and then he didn't like it. So I was taking it off, slow, because he looks so pretty. Now that is an evenly balanced divine masculine and feminine energy right there. Spiritual aspirations right there. He's just such a good boy. I wish you guys could see, you can. I wish you could see I'll show you. Watch this. If there's anybody there on my tiny tube, my name's Marge. I did my eyebrows. I'm a Heoka empath. And I just like having little talks about how I feel about things. I really don't do much to the top. They don't get too wild, but down here, you gotta still try sometime, right? Anyway, so check this out. I did this a minute ago. I've had a rough couple weeks. This is my view. And all day long, the clouds are giving me a show. Right? So that's my view out this window. And I'm super excited about those trees. Because, gosh, I miss my tree friends. I really miss my tree friends. And then out the bathroom window, this is the other view. I don't know if you're going to see it because it's a smaller and it's too bright. The sun's not going to... Later in the day, if I do one in the evening, I'll show you that view. I put pictures of it all the time out my kitchen, from what's in the kitchen, on Instagram. So, I had a rough few days energetically. I have a lot of masculine energy, a lot of, Some people call it angry lesbian. I don't usually talk to those people. Whatever. I channeled through it pretty good. Anyway. I do know that, because, I act out. I'll pretend like I'm in a boxing ring with one of the dogs. I'll just be like, no, we don't ever box for real. No. I learned that a long time ago. That is how you break the trust of another living being, is by incurring violence and instilling fear. You don't put fear on things, man. You just don't do it. It makes them unhealthy. It puts stress on their organs. It causes disease, which evolves into cancer. And I don't even like the fact that I raised my voice when I do. That's what my tube is for sometimes today. Is for those people that just have so much they don't know what to do with it. So I found a creative outlet. I've been pretty good, because Mom taught me when I was real young that I'm going to have to learn emotional control, because society is made for people to put people that touch people away. And then it got out of weird whack. But you just don't. Keep your hands to yourself. That's all it is keep your hands to yourself in all situations. And so when I I don't know how to explain this, and the song just shifted, so my train of thought might just shifted. So what I've learned to do a long time ago, I used to ride my bike all the time. Now I hurt so much. I woke up and my joints hurt. And then I see stupid articles about how frickin' stuff the VA pumped into us is frickin' attacks our endocrine. I'm like, I already have a compromised endocrine system. So I wake up and I'm like, well, that's so new. That's a new pain. That's a new joint thing. So I'm gonna look into some herbal remedies, some herb medicine, plant medicine, natural. Instead of glucosamine and stuff like that. God, my train of thought is just all over the place. All right, I gotta be in the room, present, just all by myself, because there's like too much. Woo! We're just all radio receivers, man. We just tune in on frequency. That's what telepathy is. There's some video came across about this kid. It kept buffering, so I got impatient and I could only stand as much as I could. But he was a young guy, and he was evidently having a schizophrenic episode, and he was doing it online, and I was like, you know what? That's intuition. That kid is freaking psychic, he's intuitive, and he don't even know it. And there are things like demons and lower vibes. There's a low vibe, a demon is a freaking kid that freaking fell off a bike, crashed his head, skull open, and doesn't know that he's dead. He's just mad because he's never getting to where he wants to go on his bike. So that could be, I mean, you know what I mean? It could be life is so full spectrum. And people just have their little horse blinders on, and those are about to painfully be freaking torn off here pretty quick, if they haven't already. To whatever your path opens up to. So I kept praying because there's periods, I mean, I pray every day, but sometimes I just weird kid pray, God help me, because I don't even know what to do with this energy sometimes, and I can't wander off too far. And so I'm going to make a sitting area out here. And I want to get one of those, like, survival tents, like, that have just, like, the triangle that just provides a cover, a shade. And I'm already scoping out where I can anchor it and stuff like that. And what kind of fencing to use. You know, because they just sell these wooden posts all over. They call them coyote fences. It's so weird that in different parts of the country that there's different things that people have to contend with. Designated to that land. For instance, water. Most people live in a city, you turn on your water. Most people shouldn't drink it. That stuff's freaking nasty. Ew. It's like, because every place, Flint has just spread out to the whole nation because they never use the money that they siphon from us to fix the infrastructure. So now everywhere it's just kind of freaking, because they didn't do what they got paid to do. And so now there's going to be hell to pay. Anyway, that's another talk. Karma's a bitch, man. Karma's a bitch. So water is a good example. And then friggin' I spent 3 years in Oregon not having running water because of go look at, I did videos about it years ago. There's a whole freaking playlist on the greed of Oregon. And so I didn't have running water for 3 years. Still paid down the $1,300 city bill that occurred after that, over that 3-year period of me. That's how, because I was still getting a 50, but I didn't. It's a city bill. It's not a water bill because it's one. You don't get one with the other. And so that, and then I go to Arizona, and then the people that we stayed with for that few weeks, that stepping stone, we'll call it. That learning experience, we'll call it. They had to have their water hauled in, and it was like $70 for so many. Oh, is that Tucker? So many gallons. Because the elevation is so high, most people don't have well water. But anyway, Tuck just came in. Hi, Tuck. And then here we have well water. But something's funky with the water pressure. But the funny thing is this is the first place I've ever lived where you didn't get mail at the residence. There's no mailbox around here. And talking to other community, and that's the thing is people live so basic, so primitively, that's just good enough. But there's a sweet spot, because I don't like because I think about technology. I'm thinking about nanoparticulates and all that stuff that I really don't want to see the world. But it's gonna go that way, Because people will do that. People will freaking straight up have freaking put stuff, outside stuff in them just because they're lazy. You know? And I know a lot of dudes that would rather have a freaking AI robot girlfriend put her away in the closet when he doesn't want to deal with her. Because people are lazy. And relationships are effort. It's just weird. But people have a choice. Are you going to live more for ego or more for spirit? And I got to remember that every day, every time I hurt, and like if I flash or I flare, every time I'm just like, ugh. That ain't living from spirit. And we all have free will. You know? It's just like, what can I do to reprogram myself? And that's when I go do art and stuff like that. And that's the thing, is I always take all these pictures and I can just go paint them. People can buy them if they want. Anyway. So, I'm excited about my project that my friend is helping with. One of my earth angels is freaking it was like, I'm going to put my sun and chair out there and we'll call it a day. But I started thinking about it and I'm like, I like to spend a lot of time outside. So I might as well make it so, it's kind of fenced in and the dogs can come and hang out too. You know? Because they like to do what they do in here outside. And it's good for animals to get sun on their organs, just like it's good for us to get sun on our organs. I was telling Mom this morning, and I was like, Mom, I think I should take a time out on astrology and just not listen for a while. Because I take what they say, the astrologists say, and I put like what I know about, what I know from my personal experience about human nature, and I'm just like, oh dear. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Because everybody always has this potential in them, and everybody is so full of fear. They're so scared. And I recognize that because they don't have a power, a God. They don't have a God. They don't have a God that's good. Their God is not merciful. Their God is not good. Their God is mean. I had a mean God. My God hated gays. Sometimes my God still hates gays. Some days my God still hates gays. Yesterday, I'm like, this is why my life is the way it is. It's because God hates gays. I'm just a ridiculous human being. I was over at Chasing Truth on her Tube Talk this morning. I like her. She just talks, just puts the camera on, drives around, does whatever, does errands, whatever, talks about whatever. And it's like, fear and faith cannot vibe at the same time. So either people, and I can get to a place of faith like that. But sometimes, man, I can just pick up the vibration of other people's fear. Just be, if I'm in a room where people are scared, it hurts my freaking organs. Oh, Tata. Good boy. You coming up, or are you going to lay down there in the sun? My sweet little nugget of love and affection. Maybe I might even put a little catio in out there. Little screened in area so Stanley could come out and hang out with us while we're back there. See, I get all these ideas and then, my body hurts. Then I'm reminded, slow and steady, just do a little bit at a time. Because I used to just do it all I used to just do it all. Just go for the gusto, just get through it. We were child labor for my dad. we would have to spend freaking 12 hours on a Greyhound bus to go down and see him, but we'd stay. It was just never about. It was just never about him. It was always for looks, for how things look. Things have to look good. Things have to look, And he was always the fuck up. I'm his last fuck up. Well, no, I'm not his last, but as far as the storyline with my mom, I'm his last fuck up. So I'm a constant reminder of how Greg just fucked up again. Because he was free and clear. He could have just had his successful son. But then this weird... he and Loretta had to hook up one more time, and then that was their parting gift. Hey, Bevita. Be nice to Luna. Be nice, Luna. When Luna sleeps, she's been traumatized. She came from... All my dogs are rescue. That's why it's like, I can never get mad at them because they're pre-programming. I can't, and they all have their idiosyncrasies, and I can try and account for it and freaking curb it, and I can't. They get around me sometimes, so sometimes I get mad because it's stuff that I should have caught and I didn't. Like when Benny gets the stick of butter off the counter, it's my fault because I know he freaking gets stuff off the counter and I didn't freaking put it back far enough. It sucks to to know where your responsibility lies in every situation. Because when I was younger, that's when we were child labor. That's what it was, always work. Hey, be easy. And it was, we go down and visit him. I remember one time because my grandma was a real estate agent, so she would pay him to freaking clean the yard up and stuff, to show it and stuff like that. This one time, we got to go do this first and then we'll go to the beach. And it was hours. Raking rocks and and I'm freaking 10. My brother is 12, maybe even younger. And then finally, because I'm always doing the math, because I know about mileage, because Greyhound bus, he learned stuff when spending so much time on a bus. Learn a lot of life lessons. So, because the beach was about an hour away. And so as the day was going on, it was just cutting more into the beach. And then I'd think, and then I'd get mad about it, and then I'd get in trouble for having a bad attitude. I've gotten in trouble for having a bad attitude my whole life. People have used my attitude against me. It's always me. So, it's funny, I see these other shows, like Mr. In Between. And I remember there's a character, and he said it one time, he's like, and I'm the asshole. I'm always the asshole. And I'm just like, oh my God, dude, you are. And I'm like, I can relate to that. Because I'm always the asshole. It's always Marge. Easy. So, That's what I told what's her name over on Chasing Truth this morning is, oh, you okay, Ty? Got a hair in your eye? Is I said, I'd rather people, or I said, what did I say? I'd rather people think I'm a dick and find out I'm cool than think I'm cool and eventually find out I'm a dick. That's what I said. Omaha's getting a winter storm watch from Monday 6 a.m. until Tuesday 6 a.m. Anyway, so I feel better today. After my joy, I just don't sleep good. I just don't. My dogs sleep right next to me. and I see the potential of danger in every situation of accidents, because they're all getting older and more brittle and fragile too. So all it takes is me to freaking flip over and a dog, a knee to the chin, and I got a dog. And it's harder to go to the vet these days. And I live in a small town now, so the stuff that was, whatever. So I just got to be careful. See, I was always told, because I always moved around so fast, I got all this energy, I was just a little with the speech impediment, just was bing, 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 and then it's just slow down, you're going to get hurt, slow down, you're going to get hurt, slow down, my whole life. And then I started seeing every situation of how things and people can get hurt. Oh, and I just got dog slobber on my hand. Oh, see, all this, that grosses me out. I want to throw up right now. I don't like other things, frickin' stuff. I mean, no, I'm just kidding. That's gross. That's why we have blankets and pants and stuff to just wipe that stuff off. But it's like, I look over, I got a picture the other day of Tucker. It must have been like this. It's long. It's just like, dude. You need to go hit that hydration station, dude, because half your hydration, see, they like being on me. He's leaning against me. Whatever. Yeah, Tuck, you're such a good boy. He's such a good boy. They're all, see, and they deserve a good life, so I can't get mad when they do their just be themselves. He's pushing me off the bed. Anyway, I got a quick errand to do. I'm going to get going. I think maybe I'll be back on later.